Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. It's great to be here, and thank you all for joining us again for another one of our For Better series in this masterclass series where we are sharing the work of FAO and colleagues and partners. It's great to be here again. My name is Oisín Gill, and I'm leading the education program here at the World Food Forum Global Youth Action Initiative. Today's masterclass is on family farming centered agri-food systems, and we're delighted to be joined by our colleagues from the UN Decade and Family Farming Secretariat. This UN Decade is facilitated by FAO and colleagues in IFAD as well. So you'll learn more about this throughout the session, but we're joined here by Anna Korzynski and colleagues from the UN Decade Family Farming Secretariat. So Anna, I'll pass over to you and you can introduce the rest of the team and the session. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone who's joining today to this masterclass. It's a real pleasure to be with you here and to exchange with you today. Our topic is going to be the family farming centered food systems. So we know a lot about food systems, but what does it mean when we talk about family farming centered food systems? So we'll explore that with the team, which is the FAO team of Family Farming Engagement. This team is located in the FAO Partnerships and UN Engagement Division. And let me introduce you my colleagues who are here with me today. Guilherme Bradi, he is the head of the unit. We have Sarah Hassan, Lorenzo Webster, and Elisa Aleotti. My name is Anna Korzynski, and I'm coordinator of this team. So let's start then. We are going to divide this masterclass in three parts. First, we'll talk about the food system challenges and how family farmers can respond to those challenges. Then we will explore a little bit the features of public policies, how public policies can support family farming. And then finally, to close, we are going to introduce you a little bit the UN Decade of Family Farming Initiative, just to give you an idea about the fact that there is a lot going on around family farming in these years. We have 10 years to talk about the family farmers and to support them, supported by the UN United Nations. So it's quite a high-level initiative, but you will learn about that a little bit later. So I am sure that if you are here today, I am sure you know about the food systems, and I'm sure you know about the challenges of food systems. But let's just think about a couple of paradoxes here in the food systems, no? We, okay, wait, I will have to share my screen with you because we prepared for you some information. So here it is, family farming. Can you confirm you see it? Someone nodding? Yes, thank you. So what are the challenges in the food systems now, and what are those paradoxes? We know that while we are observing an incredible level of economic development in some cases, we know that the food system and the agri-food system is not delivering to the deserved outcomes that we are seeing. There are a lot of crises, multiple crises, economical, environmental, social, or health crises that impacts and puts a lot of pressure on food systems today. Food systems today are not able to deliver sufficient, affordable, and nutritious food for the population. We know that today the hunger is reaching an incredible level. In 2023, between 713 and 757 million people were facing hunger, and this means 1 out of 11 people. This is something that is incredible. But on the same side, we also observe the increasing level of obesity and overweight, while we also know that 1/3 of the food that we produce is wasted or thrown away. So this is one paradox. Another one, if you think about that, while we are expecting the agri-food systems to deliver, we also continuously put under pressure because there are a lot of conflicts and wars which increase poverty and which exacerbate the hunger level as well. The climate crisis is an additional problem that we are facing that impacts the agri-food system. We also know that 1/3 of the green gas emission is coming from the food production, from agriculture. This creates biodiversity loss, this creates water scarcity and soil depletion. So there is a lot of problems, no? And if we want to feed the world sustainably, we definitely need to change something. And how we can do that? Why not working together with family farmers? They can be part of the solutions, and they can be those who deliver sustainable responses to all of these challenges, or many of these challenges that I have just mentioned. I stop here because now we would like to invite you to be part of this masterclass, and we will have a short exercise with you. Oshin just put a link in the chat, so please go there and respond to the following question. So what does family farming mean to you? If we say family farming can be part of the solution, who are those family farmers? I'm sure you are here with you 171 person. You must come from various backgrounds. Maybe you are also family farming by yourself. So please respond to that. What is that? We will wait a little bit and then come back to you. I see a lot of interesting elements. Resilience, tradition, people also putting words in the chat, food security, smallholder, indigenous farming, small-scale farming, rural economic development, labor, generational farming, tradition. Fantastic. Let's wait a couple of seconds. Self-reliance. Safe food, that's beautiful. Peasants, rural economy, family. 8 participants still typing. Maybe we give 5 more seconds to this exercise and then. Okay, thank you so much. This was really great and a lot of important elements you have been including in the chat. Let me try to share again my screen with you. Okay. So indeed, you have been mentioning and you have been writing here very important aspects of family farming. Let me share with you what is the official concept of family farming when we come to the UN Decade of Family Farming. So family farming is a mean of organizing agricultural, forestry, fisheries, pastoral, and aquaculture production that is managed and operated by a family and is primarily reliant on the family labor of both women and men. So you can see that we are talking about all types of family-based production models, including crop production, but also working with trees, with fish, with animals. So it's very important to show the diversity and heterogeneity of family farming. You also put a lot of well, sometimes people use it as synonyms, but there are some nuances, but you can say also that they can be peasants, indigenous people, they can be members of traditional communities, can be a fisherman, a mountain farmer, and so on. So this is when we talk about family farmers. Just to give you some idea about the importance of family farming, family farming today, family farms account for more than 90% of the farms worldwide. That means that 550 million family farms exist today, and they produce 80% of Earth's food. To add here one more paradox, just because I was talking about that before, it's important to see as well that while family farming is producing 80% of Earth's food in value terms, family farmers are among those who are mostly impacted by poverty and hunger. So something is not working well. About one or a few more statistics to give you an idea how family farmers, who are they? Well, the scope, like family farmers can be big or small, no? Because you also put small scale. They can be also larger scale, but we need to note that more than around 95% of farms around the world are smaller than 5 hectares, no? So there is a strong dominance of small scale food production when we talk about family farming. And again, to highlight the diversity, we included here a couple of icons and drawings from pastoralists and fishers and forest farmers, while also crop producers from different geographic areas. However, we are talking about family farmers and how much they produce, but we need to really highlight here, and this is what we are trying to emphasize with the UN Decade of Family Farming, that family farmers do not only produce food. No, family farming is a multidimensional concept and multidimensional idea. They create employment or generate economic development directly. They also simultaneously fulfill environmental, social, and cultural functions. Here you can see we call this as a flower of family farming. You can see the different functions that family farming can fulfill. No, they are really strongly rooted in their local communities. They are the agents of the local communities. They take care of the environment. They manage natural resources sustainably and use natural resources and conserve biodiversity, because they also know that they would need to transfer all the farming assets to the next generation. Someone was also mentioning the generations in this exercise. Indeed, they are essential. No, this family farming, it's a kind of motor that ensures the generational sustainability of rural areas. No, the farm goes from the older farmer to the next one. So to make sure that that happens, the management of the resources should happen in a sustainable manner. And of course, they promote social inclusion and equity, and fulfill many different roles in their communities. The role of women is essential when it comes to the local community as well. They can provide different services from childcare to taking care of elderly in the community. So you can see that besides food production, the family farming concept is a much wilder idea. And because of this diversity, the question is how they can be supported and how we can rely on this diversity in order to provide sustainable responses to the problems of the food systems. So what we can do, we can support them with public policies. And how we can do that and what we mean under this will be presented by Guilherme. So please, Guilherme, over to you.
Thanks so much, Anna. Hi, everyone. Glad to be with you all. So, as Anna mentioned, we need to ensure diversity in the food systems. No, several of the paradoxes, the problems that Anna referred to, are related to concentrations, economic concentration, or concentration of certain crops, homogeneity of diets. No, so this brings environmental problems. This brings problems on nutrition. This means that not everyone that are in the value chain will benefit from the richness that is produced by agricultural value chain. So we need diversity, and in order to ensure diversity, we need family farmers. You did it very well, referring to this resilience, biodiversity. The keywords that you brought are very linked to the diversity that family farmers bring to food systems. So how we can ensure diversity? To ensure diversity, we need public policies, no? Because public policies are needed to ensure that this diversity can flourish. So before we enter into this, we're going to see very quickly what public policies are and why they are so relevant to family farmers and how can we develop public policies to family farmers. I would like to ask you what you understand from public policies. Can you do a similar exercise, please, Anna, to check on with our participants?
Yes, the link is in the chat, so please again enter in this space. And I'll finish sharing already the screen.
Okay. Thank you so much. I think we have a lot of several elements here. So exactly, I think some of the keywords, the bigger ones, complex process. It is very complex. A way to bring goods, public goods, to society. Absolutely. a way that a governmental enforcement, a way that the government will bring solutions to the society. Definitely can be laws, can be regulations, a part of the public policies, although public policy is broader than only laws, regulations, etc. Can be specific support, etc. But going more in details to it, it is a stable, purposive course of action or inaction. We can talk about it, followed by an actor or a set of actors, let's say the different powers in a given national state, in dealing with a problem that the society understood as something that needs to be addressed. No, so it's it needs to be a set of actions. No, and a combination of different actions. Can be the law, but can be also how I'm going to deliver services to the farmers, how I'm going to make sure that they will receive the services. It needs to be to have a stable course. It's not that it will happen for a short amount of time and then it will disappear. That's why a public policy is not a project. A project has a very defined timeline. No, so a public policy is a way that the government will see to organize actions, maybe with the subnational levels, maybe with the parliament, in order to be able to transform certain reality to achieve objectives that are being understood by the society as a need. So knowing that, let's have a look on this complex process that we have. We need to ensure that different stages are considered during this cycle to develop a public policy. Otherwise, we're going to have problems. We will not see the results we were talking about. So we need these 5 stages to be accomplished in order for a public policy to be successful, no? To reach the society, to deliver to the society. We need to have, the first step is the agenda setting that we call. The agenda setting is when the civil society, the society perceives that we have a problem and we need to change. So the government is pushed in certain way to address a situation, no? To bring solutions to a given problem that the society is perceiving. So that's why it's so important very often to have the organizations, the civil society, the academia, people talking about certain problems, because this is a way that the media, no, that's the way that the society will understand that this problem needs to be addressed, and it is a priority that the government needs to address. After this decision is taken, okay, so we're going to work on it. We need to formulate the how this problem will be addressed. Well, we're going to need to do a proper diagnostic to understand the causes of the problem. We're going to need to understand which actors are involved in this problem, because most oftenly this brings, it touches into power correlations, balance of powers among different actors. If there is a problem, it's happening because someone is probably willing to or benefit from this problem and others are suffering. So you need to balance this. No, so you need to understand it. You need to have a proper map of factors. You need to understand, if knowing the problem, if I have a technical solution that I can develop to address it. This technical solution has costs. Do I have the means to bring this the ideal technical solution forward? Maybe not. Maybe I'll have then to not use the ideal technical solution, but something that I can deliver. No, Afterwards, you will need to adjust all the institutional framework, the responsibilities inside the government, for instance, to make these solutions to happen, to be delivered. Sometimes you will need a legislation or an infra-legal administrative circulars. You will need to adjust the responsibility of the secretariat of the minister in order to be able to deliver that. So you will need to adjust inside your legal or infra-legal framework the means you will give a mandate to the public institutions to deliver the technical solution that was decided at the end. And you will need to transform this into operations. That is when you implement. So I can have the ideal technical solution. This is the best one, but if I don't have the capacity to deliver, I don't have the institutions, I don't have the means, maybe it will not happen. No, so I could need to work with a farm organization to deliver technical assistance through extension services, or I can have a public institution that will deliver. I will need to look in which way I will be able to deliver, to make this public policy to reach the ground. And I need, from the beginning, to know what I want to achieve. And this is very important. Although we talk about monitoring and evaluation at the end of the cycle, when you are formulating, when you are thinking on how we're going to implement, you need already to start to define which are your targets, and then have these targets to be followed along the process. And this helps, again, the society afterwards to understand if this problem is being solved or not. So this is important because sometimes there is a misunderstanding that the public policy, it's only the law. I have a law, so now the law needs to be accomplished. But if all the other elements are not present, this law will not reach the ground. So the law can be part of a public policy cycle. Okay, so knowing that, why it is so crucial to have public policies for family farmers. Because as Anna said, first, because they are too many to be ignored. Second, because they are in a vulnerable situation in several times. So we need to bring them in. And usually, if you don't, and farmers are very heterogeneous, and family farmers are very heterogeneous. They vary from subsistence to be well consolidated and selling to markets. So if you don't have a way to adapt the policies to these different typologies, most probably the policy that will exist, and this is what we see very often, if you only have one single solution, this policy will be most probably shaped and designed for a more consolidated type of farmer. Giving an example, I have a credit. I have a public policy on credit designed for a more consolidated farmer. If the farmer that is living in subsistence goes to the bank to try to access this policy, he or she will most probably not be able to do it because it didn't consider his reality or her reality. I don't have the means to pay this kind of interest rates. I don't have the collaterals to give. So why is so important this policy approach on to family farming is because it gives you the possibility to work with different categories of farmers under this concept, this definition of family farmers, and adjust the public interventions to their needs and to help them to keep going, moving forward. Because we are talking about a very volatile activity, agriculture. You can be in a good position after 2-3 years of drought, or if volatility of prices, you can step back. No, so you need to ensure that there is a safety net that will help farmers to advance. and to be able to produce to all of us healthy food, diversity and diversity of food, and that we can find food close to where we live. Okay, so this is something that is why this is crucial, and unfortunately, we cannot solve these issues only with isolated, fragmented policies or projects. We need a structural approach, and we need more and more, considering all the interconnected challenges that Anna mentioned, we need also policies from different ministries to support family farmers. No? So in the past, we were talking basically about production when we were talking about farmers. Now we are talking about farmers needs to protect the environment. So we need environmental policies. Farmers needs to help on nutrition. So we need to ensure diversity. No? Farmers can help for us to have a better health. So farmers can help the schools, brings healthy foods to the schools. So more and more, this is a big trend. It's that we're gonna see, and we need to see more integration, better coordination of different policy areas to also bring services and new support to family farmers. I'll stop here. Sorry if I extended too much. Please, I would like then to ask Sarah and Lorenzo, as we saw now, we had a good glance about who family farmers are and about public policies, what we are doing under the United Nations Decade on Family Farming, and how you can participate with us. So, Sarah Hassan, please, you have the floor.
Thank you. Let me share my screen, just a moment, all of you. Can you see it?
Yes.
Okay. So good morning, good afternoon to everybody. I'm here just to give you an overview of the United Nations Decade of Family Farming. Oh my gosh. Can you see the next slide?
No, it's on the first one still.
Just a moment. So.
Do you want I share the screen?
Yeah, thanks a lot, Anna.
Okay. Go ahead and I will open it.
Okay, so family farming has been gaining global attention since 2014, which was designated the United Nations International Year of Family Farming. And this year contributed to raise the profile of family farming at the global level. So after 2014, a campaign was launched to advocate for a decade on family farming, and the decade was actually proclaimed in 2017 to cover the period 2019 to 2028. Let me try again. So the United Nations Decade of Family Farming, what's the final aim of this decade? So the vision of the decade, the decade wants to achieve is a world with diverse, healthy, and sustainable food and agricultural systems, where rural and urban community enjoy a high quality of life free from hunger and poverty. So the decade put family farming at the center of this transformation, which must be achieved with bold actions that are enhanced by policies, programs, and regulations that leverage this diversity of family farmers that we just mentioned and their multifunctionality to make them central actors to the achievement of the Sustainable Development Goals. And how can we work together to achieve such a vision? So we have a global action plan, the global action plan of the decade, which is a guidance for all actors in building plans and strategies from the global to the local level. The global action plan results from a wide consultation process involving a range of relevant stakeholders and proposes actions that are to be adapted and contextualized according to specific regional, national, and local social and economic conditions, as Guilherme was saying. These indicative actions are structured into 7 pillars of work that are mutually reinforcing. We see the pillar 1, you can see here this blue background is pillar 1. Of course, building an enabling environment with political will, economic resources available, and social support is a necessary precondition to develop bold strategies and plans in support of family farmers. Promoting youth and support women are cross-cutting issues and are absolutely necessary in order to ensure sustainability of family farming over time. So we have 2 transversal pillars. Pillar 2, which is devoted to supporting youth and to promote the intergenerational renewal of family farming, and Pillar 3, which is focused on gender equality and promoting the leadership role of rural women. And activities under those pillars are also mainstreamed throughout the entire plan, so within the other work pillars. Then we have other 4 pillars. Pillar 4, which is devoted to strengthen family farmers organizations, as they are vital to provide family farmers with access to services, to give them voice, to strengthen their capacities. Pillar 5, which is much more focused on giving these more vulnerable groups of farmers access to basic services, infrastructure, social protection systems, and specific markets, so as to help them overcoming the structural challenges that keep them into poverty and vulnerability. Then we have Pillar 6, which concentrates on the environmental dimension and focuses on improving family farmers' sustainable and responsible management of natural resources, while at the same time improving their capacities to innovate and to increase productivity in a sustainable manner. We saw that they are stewards of biodiversity. They already fulfill very important environmental functions. So this pillar is meant to leverage on this potential. And then we have Pillar 7. We're seeing that family farmers are embedded in the local communities where they interact, where they evolve, and where they renew resources. So Pillar 7 focuses on leveraging this specific potential by strengthening family farmers' role in promoting social innovation and the diversification of economic opportunities in rural areas, while at the same time paying attention to meeting this endogenous growth with the preservation of diversity, cultural identity, and the lifestyle of rural communities. So by following this framework for action, the decade has already reached some very good results in the first 5 years of implementation. A solid process has been promoted to contextualize the implementation of the Global Action Plan at the national and at the regional levels. So we have 16 national action plans for family farming officially adopted, plus 3 regional and sub-regional action plans for a total of 46 countries covered with an adopted policy framework for family farming driven by the decade. So those plans, those action plans are contextualized framework for actions. So they are tailored and specific to each country and each region. And they propose a roadmap for supporting family farming and for implementing the decade at the national level. So they are a catalyst for change, and they have been developed and implemented not only by government, but with the support of a plethora of different actors. We have over 2,600 farmers organizations, non-governmental organizations, and other entities that have been collaborating with governments to identify needs and to develop sound policies. These are the key areas of work of the decade. So basically how we support all these processes. Of course, governments should be helped in tailoring family farming policy interventions and also in assessing needs and in producing legislative and policy frameworks for family farming. There is a lot of work on capacity development just in order to strengthen the capacities of all the actors involved in these processes to meaningfully participate in the policy process. And then there is the engagement and outreach, so collaboration with different actors. And on these specific aspects of collaboration and participation, it's important to understand that the decade is a process which does not only involve government and family farmers organizations, but it's a broader initiative. And on this, I'll give the floor to Lorenzo to briefly explain how everyone can play a part in this. Lorenzo.
Thank you very much, Sara. So we've heard about the importance of family farming, and then we've heard about the need for good public policies. And finally, we've heard from Sara about the main work that the UNDFF does. But I'm sure many of you are thinking, how can I personally make a difference in this field? How can I empower family farmers? How can I support family farmers? And that's where our calls to action come in. So I'm sure, I imagine many of you will be students, you'll be in academia, and maybe you're interested in staying in academia. So let's start with academic and research institutions. Many of these institutions can empower family farmers by providing access to technical knowledge and work with them to drive forward innovation. Then we have civil society and non-governmental organizations. These organizations are crucial for giving support on the ground to family farmers, but also to create a platform for family farmers to have their voice heard. Then I'm sure many of you will be interested in journalism, maybe already involved in journalism. Here we have the media. It has a crucial role to play in raising awareness about the key challenges that face family farmers and also the importance, once again, of family farming. And it's important to recognize the role of community media, which has a rural audience in targeting information to family farmers that can once again empower them and stimulate important dialogue. And finally, we have you, by which I mean the general public, your friends, your family, your social circles. Everyone can make a difference today. Everyone can support family farmers. So one way, I think the first step is to understand where our food comes from. Do we agree with all the steps that are taken to get the food that we eat onto our plates? If we maybe don't agree, if we feel that some things could be changed to support family farmers and maybe we want to be part of a food system which is fairer for family farmers, then we need to look at alternative habits. Let's say can we check the labels in supermarkets to see where our food comes from? Can we see if there are farmer markets near where we live? Can we support restaurants that source food locally? All of these are very important ways of supporting family farmers. And I would encourage you to spread the word about this with your social circles in a constructive way. And hopefully we can create social change in this way. Next slide, please, Sarah. So if you want to go beyond these more generic steps and work closely with the decade itself, I would suggest following our page FAOFFKP, that stands for Family Farming Knowledge Platform on X, formerly known as Twitter. And there you will be able to find regular updates of the work we do, the outreach work we do. So for example, right now we have a call open. It will close on July the 14th. And we're asking for stories from about family farmers, particularly the work that family farmers do in sustainably managing natural resources, adapting to climate change, and also restoring biodiversity. So if you know of family farmers, if you maybe come from a family farming, a family of family farmers, maybe you would like to submit a story, and we would really welcome that. We'd really encourage you to maybe share this again with your networks. Please feel free to submit a story. It's a great pleasure to receive these important stories from the ground. These just to finish, these stories can come in written form, audio form, photo report form, and video form. So we accept a wide range of different forms. I'm going to close by playing a video. We're going to have a video which goes back to what Guillermo was talking about, the public policies. And while we're watching that video, I would invite you to think of any questions you may have for the panelists, because we will finish with a short Q&A. Thank you very much.
Sorry, Elisa. Just need to click sound when sharing at the beginning. Just click on
Okay,
back
just a second, sorry.
to reshare. Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe while we wait for the video, maybe we can leave it for the last for the final part. We could start to reply to the questions, Anna. Hoje, what do you think? I see so many and so very interesting questions from you in the Q&A. So for instance, there is questions related to if the concept that Anna showed, it's accurate enough. Of course, it's a concept from the international level, and we can have a very precise definition, no? So concept is a broader, more general, while a definition needs to be precise with criteria. This international concept was brought from bringing the, let's say, the minimum denominator from the national level. So bringing from the different legislations in the countries which are the, let's say, the common elements. So you will find in national legal frameworks several legislations talking much more precisely about which are the criteria to define what family farming means in a given context, in a given country, okay? There is another question about, let's say, commercial agriculture, commercial farming versus family farming. I think that more and more it will not be an opposition. I think the big problem in the food system is that we don't have enough diversity. The problem is when we all migrate into commercial farming and we forgot to support family farming. But we need both for, let's say, we have countries that need to bring food from outside, others that can produce enough internally. So we need a combination of approaches. The issue is that, in my opinion, we need more support to family farmers, a better balance among the different approaches that are being supported. There is another question about if family farming will be the future, or if commercial agriculture will be the future. This is a tricky and difficult one. I think looking on all the challenges we have and what what we need, how we need to address, I would say that I see a big opportunity for family farmers in the future. Because it's true, there is another question that not all family farmers are sustainable. They all produce sustainably, but it's easier to adapt and to be more resilient to different conditions. The way to introduce to family farmers changes. You trigger it faster and with a capacity to expand it. So given that they can deliver very quickly, and I've seen this when I was working at the governmental level, they provide answers very quickly. If you bring a stimulus, you will have changes very quickly. So if we want to have a better conservation of nature, protection of nature, while also producing food, if you want that this will trigger local development, because the money will circulate in the economy, the rural economies, and then you will have different benefits. I would say that family farming has a big opportunity for the future. But as I also said, policies sometimes are about competition of resources, conflicting interests. So it's not a given. So we need to keep all working and being conscious about that. We need to bring changes. No, and there was another good question related to how to change mind of farmers. I think there is always two ways. One is penalizing, and this is the most common. You bring a regulation and say that from next day you cannot do that. But I always prefer to use good examples to trigger changes. Also, I think that a governmental stimulus rewarding who is doing well has a better impact in providing better examples to the others that will see, well, this guy or this girl, she's doing well and she is going well. No, because she started to be recognized and rewarded because she's doing well. I've seen this practically in several different places. Okay, and there is also a very good example of a question about the policies not always benefit farmers if participation is needed and how to make it happen. Yes, this is absolutely true. Also from practice, when you include the actors that will be related to the policy in the conversation, you will minimize the risk to have a mistake on how the policy will be implemented. So governments that bring the actors into the discussion about, look, we have this problem, how are we going to solve it, how we are considering to make it happen. When you check this before you finalize the discussion, you will probably be more efficient and more successful when you deliver the policy. So it's not only a matter about participation, inclusion, that this is very important, but also it's more efficient for the government to bring this into the formulation or the formulation stage, for instance, to reduce the problems. Okay.
Let me come and reply on one last one, because I guess the time is starting to be over. If there is a young farmer working group under the World Food Forum, what we have is the annual Young Farmers Roundtable. Okay, so every year during the World Food Forum week, we have the opportunity to have a conversation directly with and among young farmers. This year, we are going to organize it on the 16th of October. And we will share more information about that with you all, and hopefully We can meet you there in person or online.
And if I can jump in on that one as well. And yeah, for anybody in terms of the youth groups that are working with us, if you're interested in connecting as well with the UN Decade on Family Farming, we're happy to facilitate connections if you're interested in that work.
So if we have still a little bit of time, we could play this video. Okay?
Yes.
Time for you? Okay.
Yes.
That would give a good summary and end for this meeting. And then once it's finishing, Oshib, then over to you, please, to close. Thank you.
Around the world, enough food is produced daily to feed everyone. Yet millions go hungry. A third of all food ends up in landfills, and diet-related diseases are on the rise. Current food systems contribute significantly to deforestation, water scarcity, biodiversity loss, soil depletion, greenhouse gas emissions, and global health issues. We need an urgent radical shift in how food is grown, produced, processed, and distributed, towards systems that protect natural resources and provide economic opportunities, social inclusion, and access to nutritious food. One way to tackle this dire situation is to work with family farmers. Family farming is any agricultural, forestry, fisheries, pastoral, or aquaculture production operated by a family, with most of the work done by the family, and the farming a source of both income and food. There are over 550 million family farms, making up more than 90% of the world's 608 million farms. While some may be large, 98% are smaller than 50 hectares, 94% smaller than 5 hectares, and 84% smaller than 2. Family farms smaller than 2 hectares produce 35% of all food in the world on only 12% of farming land, and this production is essential to their own livelihoods. Why are family farmers so important? Family farms are embedded in local communities, continuously interacting to renew and preserve ecological, economic, and socio-cultural resources, knowledge, and culture. They play a significant role in promoting biodiversity and the sustainable use of natural resources, which is key to food security. They are essential contributors to diversified, healthy food production, collectively producing more than 80% of the world's food in value terms. If empowered by targeted support, family farmers have the potential to improve their own incomes, support rural economies, and trigger tangible positive change in food production, social welfare, and environmental sustainability. Family farmers could be supported with legal grounding, family farming registries, and integrated public policies. National legal definitions of family farming are essential to establish the main elements that define family farmers. These will make it possible to develop guiding measures to address farmers' needs. Family farming registries can collect the data needed to identify family farmers, improving data quality, monitoring tools, and informing targeted policy design. Family farmers are extremely varied, and public policies need to be both operationally feasible and reflective of their differences in order to be comprehensive, inclusive, and effective. Integrated policies are needed and could include new categories and themes, such as social protection, environment, health, nutrition, and education to capture and drive the full potential of family farming. Public policies should also stimulate coordination between institutional levels, strengthen coordination among sectors to help optimize resources, and drive maximized results for sustainable agri-food systems. Family farms are not disappearing, but rather constantly adapting to survive, including by becoming less reliant on farming alone. Policies should therefore go beyond production and promote the varied contribution of family farming to sustainable agri-food systems. This can add value to family farming production and catalyze different income-generating activities related to local environments. The United Nations Decade of Family Farming was adopted by all UN countries in 2019. Let's work together towards the design of policies and frameworks that truly support family farmers and the shift towards sustainable agri-food systems.
Amazing. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Anna. Thank you, Guillermo. Thank you, Sarah, Lorenzo, and Elisa. Thank you all for joining us. I hope you learned a lot. I know I did on family farming, but also on public policies, agri-food systems governance, and how it can support family farmers. So we'll be sharing more information afterwards on how you can get involved. But thank you all for joining us. Thank you all for joining us on this series. This is the fourth of our For Better series, where we've shared the work of FAO and our partners within FAO. So thank you very much for joining us. And we'll be sharing all of the links as well in our Youth Skills Hub. So feel free to continue to learn there. But I hope you all have a great rest of your day, wherever you are. Thanks for joining.